Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most epic stories of strategy and wit, where the tables were turned in the most spectacular fashion. You know those moments when someone thinks they have the perfect plan, using the environment to their advantage? Well, this is a story about what happens when their opponent just does it better. It's a classic tale of brains over brawn, where knowing the battlefield is more important than the size of your army. The setup was brilliant. A textbook ambush. Our antagonists had chosen their ground with extreme care. They positioned themselves on high ground, nestled in a dense, unforgiving forest that bordered a narrow, winding canyon. The plan was simple. Lure their target into the canyon, a natural kill box where escape would be nearly impossible. They controlled the entry and exit points, and the steep, rocky walls of the canyon would funnel their enemy directly into the trap. From their elevated positions, they could rain down attacks with impunity, completely shielded by the thick woods. On paper, it was a flawless strategy. They had accounted for everything. Or so they thought. They saw the terrain as their weapon. What they didn't count on was their target, a seasoned strategist named Elara. She wasn't just a skilled fighter. She was a master of observation and adaptation. As her small force approached the canyon, something felt off. The birds were too quiet. The wind whispered through the pass in a way that seemed unnatural. Instead of charging headfirst into the obvious trap, she halted her troops. While the ambushers waited impatiently, hidden in the trees above, Elara sent out her most trusted scouts. Not to challenge the enemy, but to map the surrounding area in detail. She knew that the terrain held more secrets than just a convenient choke point. The scouts returned with crucial intelligence. They found something the enemy had completely overlooked in their arrogance. A series of interconnected ancient cave systems that honeycombed the very cliffs the ambushers were perched upon. These weren't just small crevices. They were forgotten pathways running through the heart of the mountain. While her opponents stared down into an empty canyon, expecting her to walk into their trap, Elara saw a different path. She saw an opportunity not just to survive, but to completely reverse the situation. The enemy had tried to use the terrain as a cage, but Elara was about to turn it into her personal labyrinth. With this new knowledge, the real plan began. Under the cover of a moonless night, Elara led a small, elite portion of her force into the hidden cave entrance. The rest of her troops were instructed to create a diversion at the mouth of the canyon, making noise, and lighting fires to give the impression they were setting up camp, indecisive and vulnerable. The ambushers watched from above, growing more confident with every passing hour, convinced their prey was cornered. They had no idea that their true threat was no longer in front of them, but was now moving silently beneath their very feet, navigating the dark, echoing tunnels of the mountain. The climax was a masterclass in psychological warfare and tactical genius. Just as the sun began to rise, Elara's team emerged from a hidden cave exit directly behind the enemy's main encampment. The ambushers, who had spent all night staring down into the canyon, were caught completely off guard. Suddenly, the hunters became the hunted. Chaos erupted as Ilaras' forces struck from the one direction they never thought to protect. At the same time, her troops at the canyon entrance charged forward, creating a pincer movement. The ambushers were now trapped on their own high ground, caught between two attacking forces with no escape route. They tried to use the terrain, but she used it better. And that's the powerful lesson here. It's not just about using the environment to your advantage. It's about understanding it more deeply than your opponent. Alara won not because she was stronger, but because she was smarter, more patient, and more observant. She saw the full picture, while her enemies only saw the obvious. It's a timeless reminder that the greatest weapon is often the ground beneath your feet, if you only know how to listen to what it's telling you. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown of epic strategy, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories just like this one. See you in the next video.